7 years ago, I left Los Angeles, California, and moved to the Pacific Northwest. My little boy had grown up and he had his own family. I wanted to move to a city where I can afford a house for my mom and myself. So in August 2007, we packed everything and moved to Boise, Idaho. During the process of home buying, the Great Recession hit, and it hit hard. I got laid off. No one was hiring. I had to sell just about everything I owned to survive. Jewelry, clothing, furniture, anything I had to sell just to scrape by. I couldn't take care of my mother, and I couldn't take care of myself. I felt like a failure, and I felt like I had hit rock bottom. Hoping to find a job, I moved to Seattle with only $500 in my pocket. I bounced between part-time jobs, but nothing was permanent. I was lonely, and I really didn't like the weather here. The first year I was here, I think I cried every day. After another layoff and 6 more months of unemployment, I was more depressed than ever. I had heard about worker retraining and knew that I needed it. I met Carol Christensen from the YWCA, a navigator for the program with a very long name, Basic Food Employment and Training, BFET for short. I had no clue what this was. Carol was a godsend to me. She was my rock. I wish she was here to have me honor her as the wonderful woman she was. She really helped me a lot. By September 2011, she had helped me enroll into Lake Washington Institute of Technology. Being at school at 50 was a lot different than it was in my 20s. It took me twice as long to retain new concepts, learn new things, a lot longer to do homeworks and studies than it used to take. I put a lot of pressure on myself, being the perfectionist that I am. I was determined to get a 4.0, and during the first quarter I did. Then all of a sudden life happened and it hit kind of hard. My son was in California. He was in and out of homelessness. He tried hard to improve the quality of his life, and everything seemed to go wrong for him. I worried about him every day. I was heartbroken. Where was he sleeping? Was he having food to eat? Where was he showering? Trying to help him, I drained my savings. My mother's health issues got worse. She was in pain from her osteoarthritis, among other things. My mom's a tough lady, but at 76, there were times when we'd talk on the phone and she would break down and cry. And that caused me to lose focus on school because I was so overwhelmed by her pain. The whole situation with my family was heartbreaking to me. I tried to focus on school, but there was a heaviness hanging over me. On some days, graduation seemed impossible. Luckily, I had an amazing support system. My YWCA team, again, Carol Christensen, who had since retired, Lucius Martin, and Claudia Alvarado, hopefully they're somewhere here in the audience, God bless them all, believed in me and wouldn't stop cheering me on. When I needed them, they were there, ready with a hug and a pep talk. Even when I didn't ask for help, they would call and say, "What do you need, Casey?" I was overwhelmed by the unexpected gifts I received from the YWCA. Help paying for tuition and textbooks, gas cards so I can get to school, so I can get to interviews, gift cards to buy basic things like hygiene and clothing for job interviews. Despite all the challenges in my life, I was on the honor roll every single quarter through 2 years of schooling. I even made the dean's list one of those quarters. And it was never easy. I had to focus on the positive things in my life. I had to do self-talk, which, let me interject here, a wonderful woman from my church, Holly Pankratz, and Jessica Marshall, who helped me through all my rough times along with the YWCA. Holly's words of self-talk: it's just one more quarter, it's just one more month, one more final, this much time in this much of the rest of your life. And then I would be done. In June 2013, I earned a double certificate, one in medical billing and coding and one in business administration for Microsoft Office applications. I finally graduated with a 3.8 GPA. My mom came from Boise to see me graduate, despite of her health issues and all. God love her. I heard her cheering in the audience as I walked across stage. Sorry. And when I saw the look of pride on her face, it meant everything to me. It was priceless. She always told me when I thought I was a failure, she was the one that said, "You are not a failure." And it finally hit me for the first time in a long time. I had hope for the future. Today, after years of instability and uncertainty, I'm so happy to have a permanent full-time job with Community Health Plan of Washington. I make a living wage, I have very generous benefits, and I work with some very wonderful people. I know life can be overwhelming. If I share one thing with you today, it's that anyone could be a success story. I feel that if I was able to do it, anyone could do it. You just got to keep plugging on and keep sight of your goals. Remind yourself that it's only temporary. The hardships are only temporary. Get the YMCA to be your cheering section. An organization like the YMCA can give people hope who don't know they have hope and options. My dream now is to have a simple and boring life. Hallelujah. I still want to buy that home for my mother and myself, and I hope to help my grandkids. I have 4 grandkids that I would love to be able to have the money to help send through college. Thanks to the YMCA, life is actually so much better. I feel like the YWCA saved my life, literally saved my life. When I was hopeless, they gave me hope. Although I didn't know most of you, you all gave me hope. If you were here last year and made a donation, I know that part of your gift helped with my tuition, my books, my hygiene, anything I could possibly need to make the transition through this time in my life to improve the quality of my life. The gas I needed for job interviews, you could have supplied the tube of toothpaste that I bought. I stand here today because I want you to know, in my opinion, that this organization is a very good investment. It's in the big scheme of things, in the big picture of things, helping one person at a time can help the whole world in the long run. I truly want to say thank you to all of you, and thank you for helping me reach my dreams, and please let us be able to reach others' dreams and end the feeling of hopelessness, and let women be empowered. Thank you.
Let's just show Casey how proud of her we all are.
Thank you very